Alright folks, welcome to the long-awaited trade recap. Today we took a total soup long, which is a rejection block long. And as you guys know, a rejection block is basically a total soup. A total soup occurs at rejection blocks as well. The body usually are a rejection block, but the highest probabilities are the highs and lows, the obvious highs and lows. Today we took a total soup / rejection block long. I'm gonna call it from a total soup from now on forward. We took a total soup long, which yielded a negative 1 RR loss. This trade, we made a mistake on this trade, which we're gonna talk about. But before we do that, let's go to our HTF and drawn liquidity. Are we looking for the daily time frame, weekly time frame? What are we overall looking for? On the weekly, we had a weekly IRL to ARL, weekly CR to the upside. We had a 4-hour amount one conversion before this weekly candle closed, as well as, although that's a higher time frame, the higher time frame was bullish. That was as you guys know, we're day traders. We always prioritize the short term over the long term, and the daily time frame was as well bullish. So we're bullish. We're adding that with weekly. On the daily time frame, we had a close above higher prices. How come? Why this specific candle or not these? The reason it's this specific candle is because it's a premium key level. As you guys know, that if the principle only matters at a key level, so at a daily or a weekly key level. In this case, this is the weekly / daily key level. It pressed it out. It had a closure above. At first, it did a wick above. That's why you see our Monday trade being a beautiful short. Eventually, market closed above this candle. And eventually, once it goes above that candle, it's no longer a bearish sign. Now it's bullish because he closed above the, he closed above higher prices. Whenever market goes above the key level, that usually means the higher prices. And this is specifically to the daily and the weekly time frame. So we closed above. Now we have a higher price for the next candle. We're trying to look to buy below the daily candle opening, which the market never gave us that. Market just went up to the higher time frame. So over here, we as well had a 4-hour daily CRT, which John Lucky already got met on that. Now, this is the higher time frame. We as well had a classic expression profile to the upside, Monday low of the week. On the 4-hour time frame, we had a bullish order flow. This is the last high, the top of the high time key level. It dug even lower. We had a closure above, so now the order flow is overall bullish. And what else we had here? We had a range low, range high. How come the range low? Weekly CRT low. How come the range high? Weekly CRT high. As well as we had a near continuation. If I'm bullish, I want the addition to make the low of the day, not the high of the day. In this case, addition made the, low of the day. So I'm looking for a near continuation. As well as we had a 4-hour SMT. This is where I made a mistake. So before I talk to that, let me show you guys a thing here. So at first we had a 4-hour SMT CRT here to the upside. It's like, okay, the SMT CRT, the John Lucky already got met on it. So I'm valid to take a hourly CRT because this is a new scenario I'm facing here. I never faced a scenario, but I just backtested it. I just forgot about a double purge because this could be a double purge. Purge out the, have SMT to the low, purge out the high, and eventually and still go up higher by retracing a little lower. So we basically had a double purge here, purge out the low, purge out the high, then still move. So we're looking for the low to get purged and the high to get purged, back to the low to get purged, which in this case, if we're going based on the 4-hour CRT with the 4-hour SMT, we never had a setup because the market really never went below this low ever again. It just went up high from here without going back down here. But those who took this amount one long, they made good profit here. But this setup right over here, I couldn't have not taken it because the timing of the soup happened the wrong time, which is between 5 a.m. I can only have a soup between, or SMT, between 6 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. The soup had the wrong time. So I was like, okay, the joint got met. So now I could possibly look for a hourly CRT long, eventually hourly CRT. At first we had SMT. So I was like, okay, we had SMT with GU. Now I'm looking to get long here. Eventually went to the 5-minute time frame. I looked for a long. I had SMT. I was looking for red model 1, which had this red model 1 right over here with the full candle closure, as well as the wick was overlaying the body. So I was looking for a total soup entry. How come? What is why a total soup? So this is called a rejection block as well. Rejection blocks are a form of a total soup, right? It's because over here there's a lot of resting orders that needs to be filled, and there's a lot of stop loss right over here because some people took a long here, whatever, right? Because they have their stop loss right around here. So market did another total soup that eventually went up higher. This is total soup and rejection block. We took a loss. You can see the market eventually tapped it. We're in. Eventually we're up for a little bit for like 1 RR. Eventually market is dumped right back on us, hitting our stop loss and losing negative 1 RR on the day. I was just going for a fixed 3 RR and it didn't pan out. So now the lesson, what mistake did we make on this? The mistake we made on this was very simple. We still had the 4 CRT in play. In a near continuation, when there's a 4 CRT in play, we ditch the hourly CRT. We primarily focus on 4 CRT because higher time from high power, and the hourly CRTs get respected a lot when there's a 4 CRT in play because the higher time frame has higher power. And how was the 4 CRT in play? Although although it did already support the high. This is a double bridge out the low and the high, and market coming back down, giving you entry, then go up higher. Since the market, if you were, let's just say we had a setup market after entry, then when it goes up higher, then we cannot take a trade anymore because this is no longer a double purge. Because a double purge would be, purging out the high and the low, but when you purge out the high and the low, market never gives you a entry to the high, right? So it never gives an entry to the high, so market comes back down after push out the high, because the entry eventually goes up higher. Now your new drawn liquidity will be this high. So this is our new drawn liquidity, which just got met at the 1:30 p.m. macro. This is our new high we're trying to go for. Why? Because it's a double bridge here. Push out the high, push out the low. Market had SMT to the low, and because although it didn't push out the low, we had SMT. Market push out the low, SMT with the low, push out the high, came back all to the model 1. Eventually, the model 1 was the one to deliver back to the upside through drawn liquidity. And you can see if you were to take that, you would have had a 3 RR. But this one, I couldn't take it because the model 1 timing happened at the wrong time. The total soup, the model 1, the SMT happened the wrong time, and as well the model 1 happened the wrong time. Didn't happen between 6 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. So even though with that I couldn't take it here, but would have offered you a 3 RR just to the high here. Would have been a beautiful long. But that right there, we couldn't take it because he broke our rule, obviously. But we took this one. So the lesson, the same thing as last time when I said when there's a 4 CRT in play in near concentration, we apply to the 4 CRT, not the other CRT, because higher to my power. And only time we don't press the 4 CRT is when there is not all the time we use the outlet CRT is when there is not a 4 CRT in presence. In this case, although the drawn liquidity of the 4 CRT got met, is still in presence. On that day, there was a 4 CRT to play, so it was still in place. So the same lesson as that time. He fooled us once. He fooled us once again, but this one is new type of a rule where it met a drawn liquidity. Last time it didn't meet the drawn liquidity. This one it did, and eventually you can see market stopped us out, and we did it. We lost negative 1 RR. Beautiful loss though. He didn't have no psychology problem. The only thing I had a problem with is like, damn, what the fuck is this? Interesting. I thought I was like, okay, this is very interesting. Market push at the high and the low. But eventually after that, I thought, okay, there's no longer a 4 CRT presence. So I look for outlet CRT because there's still a negotiation here. But on that day, on this specific day, there was a 4 CRT presence between 5 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. So, and like from 5 a.m. till 12 p.m., there was a 4 CRT presence. So we must stick to the 4 hour, not the hourly. And that day, it can't be, okay, the drawn guy make look for outlet CRT. No. If there's a 4 CRT between 4 CRT presence in a near concentration between 5 a.m. and 12 p.m., we are not going to take our outlet CRT at all. Even though the drawn gets met, even though market's gonna give us a setup, we're not gonna take it because there's a 4 CRT presence. We either take the 4 CRT that's there. We don't take any trades because this is what's gonna happen. I've had this happen to me one more time last time, but this mistake is not gonna happen today again. Now, add a new rule. The new rule, the same, but just a little added bonus up, which as all I said, I just said something extra where if there's a 402 present between 5 a.m. and 12 p.m. in that specific session for a new situation, I cannot take it out of the CRT, even if the CRT, even if the journal gets met on the 4 CRT, even when it's not present anymore. But keep in mind, there could be double purges here. Double purges are a thing. You can purge out the high and the low, then go to one direction. You purge out the high, purge out the SM2 to the low, purge out the high, and eventually went up higher. So that is the lesson of today. And as well, I'm gonna agree with you guys. I took a long on the 1:30 p.m. macro. I went to a loss, very crazy loss. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. We lost a negative 1 RR, which this one I did not take it on my actual account. I didn't take it on my my main account that I'm trading. I just took it in a little live small account, which went to a loss, which I lost I think like $25, something like that. Which I'm no longer gonna trade, and I will not trade the 1:30 p.m. macro anymore. The AM session is just fine. I just wanted to test this out. Although although I didn't take it as a trade, I was just back testing it, right? Forward live testing it with a live account, which yielded in a loss. But I'm no longer gonna take it simply because of I don't need that. I could just stick to my own thing here. It doesn't suit me. It's 1 minute time frame. I've said it before, right? I shouldn't be repeating myself like this. And it doesn't fit my time of trading. So I'm no longer gonna trade that 1:30 p.m. macro. It's not a proven concept. So I'm gonna say it's not a proven concept. So I will no longer trade it. I did add a rule, which that rule will is a rule just to not trade the macro on the 1:30 p.m. I will delete it very soon after I know, okay, I don't trade it anymore. I will delete it, but as I ran, I'm gonna keep it there. But yeah, this is my trade recap. Thanks for watching. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, join the Discord down below, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Beautiful loss. We're still up 3.5 on the week. It's just that, this is a lesson of both day. Now, just making my eyes stronger. Now, all I gotta do in the new continuation, if there's a 4-hour CRT presence and the 4C higher or low gets, the drawn key gets met on the 4-hour CRT, I will not look for an hourly CRT at all, even when the drawn key gets met, because there was a 4-hour CRT presence on that specific day for a new continuation. So either I take that 4-hour CRT presence that was there, take that trade, or I take no trade. Because every day is a new opportunity. Every setup is like a bust. If I miss one or miscalculate, it's this one I miscalculated. I just wait for the next bust to come around and take that bust. So yeah, I thank you for watching. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and join the description down below. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out.